What's going on, NBA draft fans? It's your boy Corey Tulliba from No Ceilings. I'm here with Dereon Seabron from North Carolina State. I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So the draft is in a couple of weeks, and while maybe the more casual fans might know Chet, they might know Jabari and Paolo. The people that are just getting into the process now with the NBA season winding down. For somebody who hasn't, maybe watched you all that much, how would you describe your game to somebody?
Just getting to the rim, getting to the foul line, finishing, being able to defend multiple positions on the other end, and then I'd probably say just getting my teammates involved.
You know, this pre-draft process has been going on for a few months. What's a day in the life of Dereon Seabron like right now as you prepare for the draft?
Right now, it's really just workout, playing, workout, playing, workout, playing, like every day. So always traveling, and then just working out for teams all over the country.
What's that adjustment like, having to fly and adjust to new time zones and then going to a workout? Is it difficult to adjust to that?
It was the first couple. I want to say like my first two or three, but now I'm getting the hang of everything. So I'm kind of like used to it.
Before you started going to your team workouts, what were like the specific skills that you were focusing on in your workouts?
It was mainly shooting, just getting reps up. That's all me and my trainer was really working on. I mean, we worked on other things, but the main focus was just shooting.
Yeah, I think that anybody who's familiar with your game would say that shooting is kind of the swing skill for you. Um, when you have it going, is there something that you're doing mechanically where you're just like, all right, that feels good, or is it just like a confidence thing?
I say probably just mechanics, like knowing, like having a good release, and make sure my shot is not flat, and then just probably having a wider base on my stance.
What was the Virginia basketball scene like?
I mean, we always had like good players, but like we didn't really have that much exposure. With us just being, I went to a public school, like just inner city. So, and then AAU, I didn't like play on no circuit team. So we got a lot of good athletes out of there, though. It's just hard for them to get seen.
Did you have were you a fan of a basketball team growing up? I mean, there's no team in Virginia, I guess DC, right? The Wizards are close, but did you have a team growing up?
Yeah, I was always a Lakers fan because of Kobe.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of your generation like grew up. What is it about Kobe that, was so captivating for your whole generation?
Um, just probably his play style and his leadership, and then just having that Mamba mentality on like that killer instinct and just wanting to win.
Is there anybody you like watching in the NBA, nowadays?
Right now, I say KD is my favorite player, but like, I like watching other guards, that can get to the paint, like DeJounte Murray. Who else? That's all I can really think of right now.
Yeah, I mean, Ja. I mean, even when he misses dunks, like it's just the way he attacks the rim, right? Like, and I think you could see that in your game. I think anybody who watches you knows that like you probably put as much pressure on the rim as anybody in the entire draft. Like, has that always been your game? Is it something that like as you got older and you were more athletic, like you were just like some of that Mamba mentality, like I just got to get to the rim?
No, I feel like my game really changed like my freshman year of summer, like as I grew and like I started dunking and everything. So I feel like I just started trying to get to the rack more than just shooting threes. But when I was younger, I definitely just that's all I used to do was shoot. People used to always hate that I never like drove to the rim.
NBA defenses are, pretty sophisticated and they're going to have the scouting report on you, right? Like they know you like getting downhill.
Yeah.
Uh, if a team's loading up on you, like overplaying your drive, like how do you think at the next level you can counter
I mean, I think I'll be able to knock the shot down.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when defenses, if you're putting a ball screen or whatever and somebody goes under, you feel confident that you can knock that down?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, have you been watching any of the finals?
Yeah, I've been watching almost every game since the first round.
So do you watch it, kind of like a fan would watch it, or are you looking at like Gary Payton, like, oh man, I love how he, cut back door, or Jalen Brown? Like, are you picking up little things that you can implement into your game?
Yeah, I definitely be picking up things as I'm watching games like throughout the whole NBA season.
Let's talk about the combine a little bit. I feel like you were one of the big winners of the combine. You went in there, high pressure situation, showed that like it doesn't matter who's around you, like your game is going to translate. What was that environment like? Did you feel any pressure there?
Nah, there don't really no pressure, but it was definitely different. Like it's just a whole bunch of guys that play at a high level, but they just I don't know. On their teams, they probably had different roles. So that was one of our main things at the combine was just sharing the ball and trying to get everybody involved. Cause like the people there, they already seen you play thousands of times, so they know what you could do. They want to see like how you can play around other good players.
Yeah, like did any of the coaches like, I'm sure they're giving you NBA terminology. Like, what were the practices like? Preparing for the scrimmages.
It was crazy because we really didn't practice. We had a little walkthrough before the game. Cause like both days I played the second game.
Mm-hmm.
So like as the first game was going on, we would just walk through and one of the side goes, going over the plays and what we was gonna do on offense and defense. But that was about it.
I mean, is it hard to adapt on the fly like that and like get plays thrown at you, or is it kind of just like, look, man, it's a loose environment. Let's just go hoop.
It was kind of a mixture of both, but I mean, when they were just explaining it well, it wasn't really hard to like pick it up on the fly.
Uh, so you were the ACC Most Improved Player this year. What do you think is like the has been the biggest improvement area from your game since you got there to now?
Just from the first season to the second season,
Yeah.
I really just feel like it was having the opportunity to play. You
Mm.
know, this past season I just had the opportunity to just show what I could do. So I feel like is what led to the big jump.
Do you think that there's any part of your game that people underrate?
Uh, I'd probably say my passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, I think, you watch your film, you operated a lot of times like initiating the offense. Do you think that's something you could do at the next level?
yeah, I feel like I just with the ability I had this year, like to draw defense's attention, it was just kind of easy for me to like make reads and just put my teammates in good situations to do whatever they could do to help us win.
I think one of the things that impressed me about your playmaking, because a lot of young players don't have it in their bag yet. Like when you get downhill, a lot of players, they see like the pass when it's one pass away, but you were able to hit that like next level kind of like skip pass to the weak side.
Yeah,
Is that something that like comes natural, like that vision, or do you watch a lot of film and you kind of understand where the help is gone?
probably both. It's
Mm.
kind of natural because like I just always had that in my game with just being able to get my teammates involved, but it definitely comes from watching film, be able to read the like next defender.
Do you think like your height helps at all with that? Because a lot of you think traditionally, like especially in college, a lot of guards are 6'2", 6'1", like point guards, and you're like 6'6", 6'7". Do you think your height helps you see over the defense?
Yeah, I think my height definitely helped me, like, especially like how you said, with me just being a bigger guard, I could just see over the defense.
And when I think of the modern NBA, I'm thinking of like long, versatile, skilled wings. Um, and I think that you're one of those guys that I look at and I go like, you can kind of see yourself in like how the Raptors have built their team, how like the Celtics have been building their team, the Clippers. Do you think like are you looking forward to playing with like NBA spacing? I know Terquavion was a pretty good floor spacer for you this year, but
Yeah,
I think in the NBA it's like everybody's knockdown. Do you think that's going to help you at all?
yeah, I think that would help me a lot. What you said, like the ability I have to get to the rim, and then just having more space where people can't help off so much because everybody can knock down the shot.
How would you rate yourself as a defender?
I feel like I'm a better on ball defender than off ball, but I feel like I mean this past season a lot of my like mistakes or just not being in the right place at the right time. That probably came from me just carrying a heavy load on the other end of the floor.
So when you're, I mean, you might be playing next to like Luca or LeBron or KD next year. When you can kind of focus on being a guy who is playing off of those guys, you think that you'll be able to kind of focus more defensively and balance that effort?
Yeah, it would definitely help me focus more, especially just on that one side of the ball.
Do you think like film is a big part of that too?
Yeah, especially at the next level where every night you're gonna be going against the best of the best. So film could help in those situations a lot.
I mean, speaking best of the best, is there anybody like in particular who you're looking forward to guarding?
Uh, Not in particular, but it's definitely like a lot that I can't wait to guard.
Yeah. I mean, every night is going to be a new challenge for you. I mean, the guards are super talented uh, in the NBA. What do you think the keys to being a good defender are?
Um, I think it's like just having good instincts, like on the ball, or even like when it comes to situations like long rebounds and things like that, just knowing where the ball would be at, like being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. And I mean, you as a big guard who could rebound, you like to run in transition and start the break yourself.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things to do, especially this past year.
So if I asked you if you like playing in transition or in the half court more, what would you say?
I said transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Dereon, I appreciate you coming here, chopping it up, talking about your process through this draft cycle, and I mean we're a couple of weeks away. I wish you all the best and good luck on June 23rd. So thanks for coming on and chopping it up.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.